Hey, guys. Welcome to Young and Professional with your girl Veeves. We talk about careers and how to get there, what it is, and any personal experiences that we can find. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes not. But yeah, so before we start today, I'm going to say a very quick shout out to the matrix who just wrote last week. You guys had pretty tough papers. I hope that went well. There was some maths papers in there, paper twos. There was some paper ones, agriculture sciences. There was technical maths, there was the languages, there was religious studies, there was mechanical technology, business studies, physical science, yeah. And there's some technical studies, and I know there was some history papers going on as well. I hope you guys had a great paper experience and that you killed it, and those results will be amazing. I also hope that the next week coming of papers is an amazing time and you are ready for those papers and you haven't listened to last week's episode about tips on how to get ready for finals. Okay, so all the best, study hard, and yeah, study hard to play hard a bit later. Back to today. We are talking audiology today. So an audiologist assesses and diagnoses and treats anything related to the ear. And they assist with the communication too. If you're having any hearing difficulties or you have a hearing disability of any sort, you would like to contact an audio as your guy. They also help with balance disorders, and that's where I fell in love with audiology really because I am part of an MDT clinic. We do a vestibular clinic together, and yeah, that's why I love audiology so much. So yeah, audiologists, they conduct hearing tests from neonatal age. Like they can literally test a neonate's ear, like a 34-weeker. Um, so yeah, audiology is found at most of our big varsities. Way back, it was a combined degree, being speech and audio. But I understand that you can practice at, well, you can only practice as one or the other now. So I think it's 2 degrees. So speech and audio. I once lived with a speech and audio practitioner, so that was way back, way in 2017. My ComServe, my best year ever. So one thing that she would always tell us, and I'm so grateful that she gave this education so early in my life because I've been able to use this advice even with my kids. So, what is this advice? Guys, earbuds are dangerous. According to all audios I've known or worked with, the smallest thing you could or you should ever use to clean your ear is actually a face cloth, hey? And like not that corner part, that corner square part of the towel, because nothing should enter your inner ear at all, actually. So your ear is divided into 3 parts. You have your outer ear, you have your middle ear, and you have your inner ear. So your inner ear is responsible for your balance. Physios, wake up in this department, in this industry, and make coins out of it. So your inner ear is basically responsible for your balance as well as your hearing. So when you kind of fiddle and get something that's going to go right there inside, it can like damage some structures. Even something so small as a hair follicle can literally impact your balance or your hearing. So when you use a matchstick or the back of a teaspoon, you start to enter that inner ear portion and you can cause serious damage. So if you don't believe me, do a quick Google search and AI will even tell you. Like you don't even need to read an article for this. AI can give you the answer immediately as your first pop up there. So if you have been having any wax issues, whether you're having like you feel like you're having mass amount of wax or it's smelly or anything, I would suggest that you go to your nearest clinic or to your nearest pharmacy or a GP or any medical assistance where an assessment can be done. And if needed, if something needs to be taken out, because naturally wax like clears itself out and it drains itself out naturally, so you don't have to use the back of a teaspoon. But if you need assistance, then they will most probably offer you drops. Yeah, that will be prescribed, and then because guys, never, like never that teaspoon. What are you using it after to eat? Stop it. So yeah, I've had a great opportunity to work alongside audio, and I've learned so much for myself, even me and my commitment to health. I guess I recently even had an experience of vestibular issues. It was due to a viral infection that had affected my ear, and yeah, so I think it was at that point I was so grateful to even be placed at a clinic that I am placed in currently, because I was able to relate a lot more easier to the patients. I was able to understand what they were going through, and be able to assist more and understand like the explanation of the sensation, or just like, guys, the difficulty with living with dizziness is so hard on a day-to-day basis, and it could be sorted with an assessment and yeah, and clearing of wax in my situation. But yeah, I had opportunity to even collaborate this week with an audio for a cochlear implant patient. Yo, guys, physios, wake up! Like literally, hint is collaborate with audios who are part of cochlear implant clinics, part of vestibular clinics. Like it's a lucrative business. Trust me. Whoopsie. And and personally, I've just watched the impact an audiologist has towards one's quality of life. I work with an amazing audiologist, and it has been a great pleasure working with her at Vestibular Clinic. So Vestib, like I said, is based on balance, and well, physios would be is the balance component. That's where we come in, and then obviously then audio assists with other components. But because of like MDT, like literally I've learned how to do tests, I've learned how to reposition crystals, I've learned how to do like all your maneuvers and stuff, but also just being able to clinically reason as to why this person's going through this has been an amazing experience, and I really couldn't have done it without the help of my girl Shangi. So we're gonna have a listen to a short clip of one of my favorite audiologists. Yeah, Shangi. Hello. So my name is Jangilani Jauke. I am a clinical audiologist, and I love my job. Um, I knew I wanted to be an audiologist when I was in grade 11. Well, I actually knew I wanted to do something in the health science for the longest time, but I didn't know what exactly, and I didn't really want to do medicine. And then I was introduced to audiology in grade 11. And from there, I was just like, I'm definitely doing audiology, because there's not a lot of audiologists. Like for me at the time, I didn't know a lot of people who said, hey, I'm an audiologist. You always heard of like OT, physio, and the likes, and speech therapy, but I didn't know about audiology until grade 11. So I chose it because I was just like, it's a very unique degree, and I like how it has like a good combination of technical but like science behind it. So yeah, I applied to numerous universities. I applied to UCT, WITS, TUX, um, and UKZN. I ended up not actually getting into audiology first time around, and I ended up getting into speech therapy at UCT, OT at WITS, and I almost went to WITS and decided, no, let me go to UCT. I'll do speech and then try and transfer over to audiology, because it's easier if you're doing speech and you want to like change the audio, because we actually in the same classes a lot in the first year, and yeah, and it's easier to just swap over. So I ended up doing that, and I swapped over the following year into audiology. It was a quick swap over, and again I almost actually came back home to go to Tux to go do audiology, but then I decided to continue on at UCT, and yeah, I graduated with the BSc. It was all fun and games. Audiology is basically like the aspect of assessing hearing and balance, or ear-related issues. And yeah, I really enjoy it. I think a fun fact I can give you about audiology is that
Believe it or not, there are a lot of medications that are toxic to the hearing organ. And I don't know if you know this, but the hearing organ, or the inner ear, it houses your hearing organ and your balance organ. So with that, there are also a lot of medications that could be toxic to your balance organ. So that's quite an interesting snippet from my part. I think definitely the highs of my job are when a patient leaves so happy and excited that you've given them the ability to hear again and be a part of the community again, because a lot of these patients end up being so isolated because they can't hear anyone. So I think definitely a high for me is that when someone walks out of there and you've given them that gift again, and you see they're happy, they're going to get their quality of life back, it just really brings a lot of hope and excitement to your heart. And I think on the opposite end of the spectrum, when patients leave not very happy, it can also be a bit daunting, because some people, unfortunately, you can't really do a lot for them, and they have like high expectations, but you can only do so much. So there will always be like the one or two patient that brings that down for you, but for the most part, you'll have a lot of patients who leave really, really happy. So yeah, that's just a bit of me, and how I guess how I do my life as an audiologist. I really do enjoy it.
Thank you, Slangy. And you know what? Sometimes a patient literally just needs something simple as something called an exercise. Obviously, depending on what diagnosis is, but sometimes it's something so small that's affecting your life so much, and all you need is just to have a simple exercise to be given to you, and you are set. So I love it, I love it, I love it. All the best, Langy, for everything else, and thank you so very much. Cool. So moving on to my pit and peak of the week. I think this week my pit and peak is literally combined. My heart has been so sore for a particular family I've been working with for a while, and this family has been part of our ICU family for the last 7 months. I don't know, 205, 6, 7 days today, I guess. And it's just been also a blessing at the same time being able to help them, and just to be able to give them like bursts of joyful moments with very minute things when so much more is going on. So yeah, I think my pit and peak is just working with that family. Yeah, that's my pit and peak for the week. And then we're gonna go to my top five this week. I don't know why. Perhaps it was the weather and the rain. I'm not too sure why, but I was really, really, really into Adele this week. So I actually listened to a lot of Adele and a lot of Nasty C this week. Like a few songs in between, but definitely a lot of Adele. So my number five is gonna go to Daydreamer. Oh no, that song, guys. So my number five is gonna go to Daydreamer, and then my number four for this week, yo, it was hectically on repeat, is Melt My Heart to Stone, also by Adele. And then I'm gonna go for my number three will be Nasty C. Nasty C Psychic. I've been listening to a lot of Nasty C this week. Even like his older albums, I've been going way, way, way back, which has been really fun for me. And just jamming out to all his jams. He's doing so well. And then number two, I'm gonna go for Nasty C again. Zulu Man with some power. Zulu Man with some power. And I just love how he like spits in vernac in that track. I love it. I love it. And for this week, my number one song, I don't know, it just hits very differently. And this week, I don't know why. And my number one song this week goes to Hometown Glory. Honestly, my soul was rejuvenized. I don't know. But just listening to Adele this week has just musically, I don't know, refilled my soul musically. But yeah, my number one for this week is Hometown Glory. Have an amazing week ahead, guys. And all the matriculants, good luck to this week's papers. Yeah, do what you love and love what you do. Have an amazing week. Bye. Shout out.